A very splendid afternoon to you wherever you are watching us. This is the program, The Assembly. I'm sure you're having a pretty cool day because right now we're having some good time, especially knowing that you're out there watching us to discuss a very, very important and a trendy topic in Nigeria. I am Lord Lessef from the highest echelon of the British Empire, and today I've got two guests, as always, for me in the program. I'm talking about Ichie, who is representing the Igbo constituency, and also a prof, a very learned and erudite colleague, talking about Professor Zekwes. Hey, good afternoon, Prof. How you doing?
I'm okay.
You're all smiles. I guess you enjoyed the way I added some erudite to your name.
Yes, very, very euphoric.
Oh, I see.
Wonderfully done.
Yeah, so let me just please you today.
Thank you very much.
Hope you're pleased.
I appreciate it.
All right. How is everything with you?
Everything is fine, as you can see. Everything is very okay. How are you?
For the first time you're asking me how I am. Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. I'm always good, man.
Change is constant.
Yeah, that's good.
Transmogrification and transmutation must occur in life.
Noted.
Yes.
Mazi.
And now.
What's now? I hear people say that a lot.
Okay.
What is now?
It's another way of Ijumadora. Now.
What does it mean? Like in English, what does it mean?
Like, how are you?
Now
What?
means how am I?
Now. What
of Kedu? Kedu should mean how are you, right?
Kedu, how are you? But not now. It means Oyobodo.
Onyobodo. Well, okay, I have listened to the whole lot.
I'm not.
Yeah, I like the combination. This is Isiago, right?
Yes, it's Isiago.
Yeah,
how do you get to know?
Of course, I've been here for quite a while, so I get to know all these things. Yeah, I like the rhyming with your cap. Some color rhymings out there, and also your beats.
Oh, thank you.
So what God?
Thank you.
You could say something called out.
Thank you
very
very
much.
much. Liema, thank you, Liema, very much.
Okay, so what inspired your dressing? Very unusual question, I know, but what inspired it?
I'm a Ichie and I'm a Ichie.
No doubt, but why did you choose this particular one?
No, now, today being...
Does anything actually inspire your dressing, or you just wake up and dress and come?
No, I tell you about the question. It's just some...
Present the Igbo culture.
Yes.
All right, great. So, quickly, introduce yourselves.
Hi, bonjour, man, again. High Chief, Obuefi, Chukwu, the only one, North South. I have a pause of Tata and the assembly. Kunugena into Malunkajina Katata, although the
Good afternoon. It's good to be on the show again. I am Honorable Prof. Zekwes, HPZ. Thank you.
All right, so quickly we'll say the national anthem and go for a quick break, then come back to discuss the topic for today.
Arise, O compatriots, Nigeria's call obey, to serve our fatherland with love and strength and faith. The labor of our heroes past shall never be in vain. To serve with heart and might, one nation bound in freedom, peace and unity.
Great news for Anambra Broadcasting Service ABS audience. You can now watch ABS television through any of these ways.
Buy a terrestrial antenna and connect to your television. Search ABS Channel 24 Oka or ABS Channel 27 on Ichie. Install StarTimes cable decoder and search ABS Channel 113. Install Metro Digital cable decoder and search ABS Channel 29.
Watch ABS TV on your smart TV or smartphone by downloading. Play Store. Also watch via
And today on the program we'll be discussing youth inclusion, youth involvement in governance. Some days back, precisely on the 6th day of November 2021, was the Anambra gubernatorial election where a candidate, Soludo, has emerged winner over other contenders. On that day, there were lots of activities as regards the voting process, and I would say it was a free, credible, and fair election, as the people's candidate emerged winner, and zero violence. This is something that I would say is not obtainable in many states in Nigeria. But I particularly am happy that we obtained that in Anambra State. Of course, I was one of those sent to observe the election, and I would say that it was a great one. The people turned out in their numbers amidst the tension to vote the leader that they wanted. And not just that, people didn't go by the trend of vote buying. As much as people were out there to give them money to buy their votes, people rejected. They stood up for their rights and rejected the money given to them. This is a memorable election in Anambra State, in Nigeria, in Africa, and the world. Of course, the world was focused on the election, and I'm glad that they were not disappointed. This is the program, The Assembly. Today, let's mirror a view to that election, as well as discuss the youth involvement in governance, because I observed one thing: 90% of those that came out to vote that day were the elderly. Yes, for whatever reason the youth didn't come out to vote, I do not know, but the elderly came out and voted. The question now is, are youths still the future of tomorrow? If so, why are they shying away from getting themselves involved in deciding their tomorrow? A very big question we'll be discussing in this program today. Prof,
Yes.
I want to believe you voted and you are also observing the election, at least within your own constituency.
Of course.
First of all, give me a general overview. What do you think about the election? Let's start with that.
Yeah. The election went with serious decorum. There was serenity. They were able, or should I say most of them have understood how to apply locus penitentiae. Just like you said, the adults came out en masse, they cast their votes. A lot of people rejected petty gifts. And it is something worth celebration. It's something worth emulating.
Okay.
Immutable fact. But truth of the matter, the election was free and fair. The election was conducted in the right way. People came out. Despite the fact that it was less than 10% of the number of registered voters. But I tell you what, the serenity, the quietness, the decorum, the organization, the agreement, the concord, the togetherness, the latitudinarian predisposition in the voting process, and everything that took place in chronological order, step by step, watching it verbatim and literatim, line by line, you will discover that everything went as planned. And every Anambrian, every indigenous entity of Anambra State, every individual is happy, exceptionally enthusiastic and exuberantly happy with the outcome of the election. That's
Thank you. Thank you. So much to say about the election. All right, Mazi, yeah, you're not sitting comfortably. Are you okay?
Okay.
All right, yeah. So what's your own observance about the election? I'm very sure you were at your village where you registered and you also participated in the election process.
Yes,
so what's your observance generally about it?
Only much observance. Only observe. Even in the you know, because if you listen to the English, everything professor now, everything even self much I have to say, because also I don't know if you are getting. So the election Galofuma, it went well. It went well, adding the fact that even though now people are on chapa, especially maybe the youth and other people, adding that now problem do now the shooting and a lot of things current in Anambra State. But for me, I made expect I got successful in
Okay, now what is that one thing that stood out for you in the election? What is that one thing that you would be like, okay, this is really new and it's really commendable in the election?
The one thing is that even Meludo obvious is that for me, like I used to say, I am not a party person. Are you getting me? But you name for the interest of Ndibu and Omnia. And in only one party do for Igbo people. That is which is part of the party I voted for, as long as I have the interest of Igbo at heart.
Okay, so you are happy that the Igbos came together to support the party that is theirs.
So Anambra people jiakala with Tesino on the election.
Okay.
So you need
no stress.
No stress.
Yeah. Prof, what is the one thing that stood out for you in the election amidst the good parts of it?
The most spectacular part of the election was, we talked about electronic voting here.
Yeah, that's true.
To a very favorable extent, some parts of it have been implemented here. Something like the bimodal voting accreditation system, the BVS or something like that.
Yeah.
It really worked out. At least the possibility of rigging elections was brought down to 10%.
That's true.
10%.
Even though the beavers initially was having problems with the server or network.
It worked. History doesn't want to know how you won, whether there was some skirmishes, whether there was Sayamaki or Skyamaki, depending on the dictionary you use. History wants to know you won. And
I don't understand.
But
are you now speaking the English in two different dictionaries?
See.
Now one are confused.
I use a multiplicity of dictionaries. I said Sayamaki, Skyamaki. Different pronunciation.
Of what?
Just like you have schedule and shadow. You understand?
Okay. So the American and British pronunciations.
Shadow, schedule. You understand?
Okay.
So what as I was saying,
it's making some sense.
As I was saying,
maybe now what's the answer?
The bottom line is this election was so spectacular. People actually stood there, watched their votes count. They didn't care. 2 hours. 2 hours. We have voted for 2 hours. Let us angrily go home. Everybody stood there.
Let me cut you short.
Okay.
You know, when you said it, I smiled because I was there actually in some local government areas. Yeah.
Okay, we are there too.
I was actually.
5,720 polling units.
I was there in the much of them I could cover. Okay, as a foreign body observing the election.
Okay.
And now, I must appreciate the elderly who waited, because if I was the one, the truth is that I can't actually stay for that long. So if it was, and some youths came and left.
Then
some youths came and left, but the elderly came and waited patiently.
There is one other intriguing factor.
Yeah.
A particular local government, Ichie,
had
supplementary election as a result of some incontrovertible factors. But one thing is, a man was interviewed. The man said, if you like, continue postponing this election. Continue fixing it every day. I'll be coming here every day. I'll be waiting for coming tonight. I must cast my vote.
That's Nigerian spirit.
That is the thing.
No, not just Nigerian
that
spirit.
Is the
Anambra spirit.
Anambra spirit.
Yes.
That's the point.
Okay.
So that's it. So
Anambra.
I'm just so heading into the election with optimism, heading into the election with vigor, heading into the election with strength, heading into the election with power, with penance, heading into the election with all forms of strength. It was clear that the egalitarianism that we have been looking for has come in. Attitudinarianism has come in. Cooperation has come in.
You can't want to lie. Anyone can understand.
Only with time, the desired positive change. The paradox we have been looking at will turn into platitudes and virginities, and everybody will understand. Oh, Santa Simplicitans, we have exercised the change. We have come out in mass. It has been something preferable, but now it is irrealizable, and we are happy.
Prof, I want to continue with you and ask you a question. There is barely a time you will come here and sound very pessimistic. You are usually, sound very optimistic. You are usually pessimistic, even though you are being realistic. Okay? Now, this is like the first time you are sounding optimistic. I think this spirit, this Nigerian spirit, this one Nigerian spirit is coming back to the youths. I think people are now beginning to see that yes, Nigeria can work out after all. You know, this was never the case. This Anambra election is like a bedrock, and I hope it stands. I hope it stands. At least for the very first time we can say that we voted and our votes counted.
Of course.
You know, this is something that is unheard of. Because people, the majority of Nigerians, especially the youths, which we are focusing on today, they don't believe that our votes count. They do not believe that. But looking at this election, I believe youths will go out en masse to vote who they want come 2023, during the presidential election. Because yes, they've seen that indeed our votes can count. Unlike the usual saying that, of course, INEC, they are used to rigging elections, as many Nigerians would say. But look at it, they were credible. Nothing, the observers were there. Everything was free, credible, and fair. What more is left to be of an election?
Of course.
Big thanks to the beavers. I think we must touchlight the beavers.
Yes.
You know, it's really a great, and I hope it stands. I hope we won't have this issue of network and the rest of it, the server and the rest, because I saw how frustrated. Yes, I saw how frustrated, and it was practiced in Anambra for the first time. Yeah, I saw how frustrated people were at the initial, because they came out early to vote. You know, so I saw how they were all complaining, but eventually it ended in joy. I think that's what matters.
I was there. I know about 7 o'clock.
Then what time did you vote eventually?
I vote. I think my constituency in Oka South, I think we started voting around 10-11.
Okay.
10-11.
And everybody voted?
Everybody voted.
Nobody was disenfranchised?
Everybody, even in Negalunko, in Nando surprise.
What were you expecting? That they were surprised?
In as much as I check a mama, I knew they were. Even though I came with my walking stick and all that, I came prepared. But thank God that there was nothing like that.
Okay.
I don't with even Anambra, which on your Abunama.
Yeah.
So here I know now should be celebration.
Yeah.
When we don't go an election, no go peaceful.
Yeah.
No life was lost. Nothing happened. When any kind of the whole of Anambra came in mass, decided who they want.
Okay.
So I have a question.
Yes, but it's basically about the youth, but we'll focus on that after this break. I want us to talk more about the youth, because that is basically what we are discussing today, the youth inclusion in governance. We'll take a short break. When we come back, we'll talk more about the youth inclusion. Do stay with us. And you're back on the program, The Assembly. In case you are online, just go to Facebook, search for Anambra Broadcasting Service and drop your comments there, because there are some comments that are coming in already. I have one from Michael saying kudos to the team, and also Lawrence is saying bravo. So just go there and drop what your thoughts as regards youth inclusion in governance. Okay, it's our topic of discussion today. Also foreshadowing, throwing some casts on the election that was had last Saturday. Okay, so let's talk about youths basically and why they shied away from the election process. They were all involved in it, but when it came to do their own role, to play their own role by voting, you barely saw them. Welcome to the program, The Assembly. Okay, Mazi, I believe you're an elder and you speak to youths from time to time. So the question, don't worry, I'm going to ask you the question, don't worry. So what would you say was the reason why the youths didn't turn up for this particular election? And why do they not want to get themselves involved in governance? Because they believe that all politicians are thieves. You know, they believe that elections are rigged. They believe Nigeria cannot be won. These are the beliefs. And because of all these things, they are trying to steer clear of governance. How then would it work out if they don't play their own role?
Now, that is very okay, because it's all very important.
I'm aware it's important. That's why I asked it.
So, it was important Number one is that Nigeria, you man only one Nigeria, man I told me on here. But when I short up n'ime maka na isi esi bịa ọ ihe ekwe na-ajụ anyị nwa bụ ndị obodo ka iwe sikwuru mana let's not go to that side. In terms of the youth not showing up on that election day, all the very obvious. Are you getting me? You want to do obvious number one to be good. Government of Nigeria, and I include the youth in your name. Government of Nigeria as a whole, both federal and distant, youth and allow participate well. They only empower the youth. But I thank God because ndị Anambra on this election by voting a political party win with this election now. Now because now I believe in I will change. Are you getting me? I
can hear you.
So I believe in I will change. One woman, you want the youth, just like me. After time that day, I'm all no get from money. I casted my vote. Even though now people are taunting, but at least it went successful to its extent. So the problem is the system of Nigeria, of this country.
So you're saying that the system doesn't favor the youth?
Doesn't favor the very...
What exactly do you mean by the system doesn't favor the youth?
The president of this country,
He's an old man, I'm aware.
An old man, he's going to be an old man. So if you go from there...
it's not just the only government position to occupy. There are lots of positions, the councillors, the House of Assembly, House of Reps, Senate, governorship. Well, how would they even include you when you don't even include yourself? When you don't even have interest? That's the question. Come in with that.
Now,
okay, wait. Yeah.
Answer the question. See, did you go to the president of this country?
And I've answered. The president. He's an elderly man.
Old man. We are not grandpa.
Oh, that's
old, grand. Oh yeah, grand. Check
Is that the reason? That's even the more reason why you should even come out as children to participate in the politics. Isn't it?
Are you getting me? So can I fear to that place? Ka prof when we get prof ye jijo ibo gbali line we ni na. Odozie una okukwa now.
Okay. Prof, go ahead.
First,
I trust him, Prof.
If not for the political, not political every time. If not for the social, behavioral, and peregrinational shenaniganism,
I told you.
If not for the electoral abracadabra, electoral muahaha that we have seen.
Wait.
I'm asking a prof.
What's muahaha?
You think I was?
That is like an evil laughter. Evil laughter.
Okay, like
something that berates, something that debunks, something that berates, something that sends away, that casts away.
Okay. Okay, like you combine two words together.
It's one word.
Muahaha.
As I was saying, if not for the abracadabra, the abracadabrangle that we see, a lot of things would have been corrected. Talking about the issue of youth not coming to election. See, secessionism has been the only way to correct the problem in the eyes of so many people. Then, overhaul, like I always say, amelioration, amendment seems to be the way to correct the problem to so many people. Now, talking about old people being in power, younger people not being in power, I will tell you this, in all honesty and truth, it will be good to remove all the old people at once and allow all the young people alone to manage the affairs of a country. It's not good.
It's not even feasible, actually.
Because you will need the old and young. You will need a concord.
Yeah.
You will bring the advantageous and the disadvantageous factors. You will combine all the compartmentalized facts and bring them into a compendium, and there will be an agreement. Yes, Because things become impossible to be possible. Things get worse so that they can get better. If you allow the youths, I'm not against youth empowerment. I'm not against youth. Allow me to land. Excuse me.
In a problem, now, Nigeria do not do that the system alone not touch it.
The problem with you is
problem with me.
See. We must be able to identify the cardioteratogenes.
Is that his problem?
I'm just trying to point out something.
We
must be allow me to land. We must be prepared to point out the cardioteratogenes. And when doing that, you don't need to be sentimental. You don't need to be biased. You don't need to be. See, listen to me. Everything must be bilateral, must be multilateral, must be multi-denominational. You don't have to turn on your mindset askew. It's not going anywhere. You're doing that. You're bringing tribalistic, egotistic, self-centered and self-aggrandizing, self-instituting facts into this thing. You're not anywhere. Ask me a question, I'm available.
Do you know what? Is on a problem Nigeria face now?
Interesting. I will say that. How? Tell me how.
Listen to who and listen to what.
There is this thing I will say to him to this.
Okay.
When
this is getting more personal
when you don't understand the terminus aquo of a problem, even if the terminus aquo is stated, you will still be lost. Everything will be vague. Everything will be obfuscated.
In a way he would understand.
You will just be in a cauldron. You will be in a, excuse me, let me land. You will be in one question.
Okay, what's the question again?
You are not that you are a technical aqua. Even when you bring Mandu grandfather and bring Mandu you to join you out together. On our take over that the system of Nigeria is okay by him.
That is what I'm trying to say.
A simple question.
I cannot just answer a question without stating the facts. Most of the things we are doing in Nigeria are fallacies.
The question is very simple.
See.
I'm battling. Are you trying to say that until the youths come and take over governance, that's when Nigeria will be better?
These people are trying to say.
I don't think so.
Excuse me.
I can't remember. No, you to win the Anambra Guber. Prophet, does it patank here?
Can I say something now?
Well, I think we are.
Can I say something right now?
I'm being confused who a youth is and who a youth is not now.
Can I say something now?
Yeah.
Okay. I hope no ridiculous interruption again. Now, what I am saying is simple. What I am saying.
What ridiculous means?
Come on, man, ridiculous go caricature.
Good. Nice. As I was saying, please just listen to me. I said, excuse me. I said, if you don't understand something, you will remain in a natatorium. You will remain in a cauldron. You will remain in a pond. You will remain in a pool of confusion. That is bad. It is hell bent. Excuse me. Allow me. It is just based on. It's just based on.
That question is causing more problem than solution.
More problem. Yes, I go to me eventually.
I think I already answered you. I'm saying that it doesn't matter if it's the youth there in the governance.
If you start,
a problem is not going to be solved by only the youth.
If you start interrupting me when I speak, you will not say anything. Very good. Now, as I was saying, coming to his question, whether the situation is good or bad.
No, it's a clear answer.
Everybody knows the answer.
Good. So there's no.
Everybody knows the answer.
You are the only one.
Listen to me.
You are the only one that now bring this idea because. Youth of Nigeria Nebapa. Youth of this country Nebapa.
The president of the United States of America.
Youth of Nigeria
are crying that the United States of America, Joseph Robinette Biden, is 79 years old.
Of course. So
Nancy Pelosi, the Speaker, House of Representatives of the United States, is almost 80.
Are you an American?
Now listen to me. This is the problem you have. Now listen.
If an American.
We are not saying that we don't want the youths. I want the youths to be in power for a tremendous amelioration, for the desired change we have been clamoring and agitating and soliciting for. What am I saying? If you are wicked, if your brain is vague, if everything about your brain is bunkum bay, gibberish,
Okay.
It is gibberish. Wickedness is not something. Is not something that you can just induce in somebody. It is something natural, something genetic, and it is not supervacaneous. It is not superfluous. It is not a prefix or a suffix. It is an inbuilt something that stays in you. When you are wicked, you are wicked. There is a governor in Nigeria
I wonder how it
that
came
is
to
less
wickedness.
than 50 years old. Excuse me. There is a governor in Nigeria that is less than 50 years old.
But he's not wicked.
Nothing.
So let's
Excuse
not
me.
go
Excuse me.
there.
Excuse me. Nothing is happening there in his state. Embezzlement here and there. There is a senator who is 66 years old, who is above 64 years old. Let me put it that way. Constituency projects continue to take place in this town. What I'm insinuating is the youth should come in, the adults should come in. Advice will be taken from two angles. Nobody knows everything.
Exactly.
If you allow everybody, if you allow them to stay in power, you have ridiculed the country. You have placed the country in peril. You have placed the country in a calamitous apocalypse. And every person who doesn't debunk or refute that kind of claim is only a backward option. That is the truth. And you cannot say that kind of thing. If you see, listen. When there is a plan, when you have a plan, when you want to send your state into success, it's inbuilt. You don't have to be 50 years old or 80 years old or 90 years old. When you are greedy, you are greedy. Look at the president of Guinea. Excuse me, former president of Guinea, Alpha Conde. Alpha Conde, 83 years old. Greed. He changed the constitution so that he can stay there forever and ever, and he was ousted. That is wickedness. People do that. The president of Liberia, as at one time, was dismembering people. How old was he? 38 years old. He was busy dismembering people, decapitating people. So what I say? It is not about, we cannot resort to such opprobrious and ignominious lies, fallacy, telling yourself lies. Say the truth. We want the youth to be in power. They must show preparedness. They are not prepared. We must show preparedness so that you can join.
Okay, wait. I think before you ask your question,
okay.
I think you're in line with what the president of Nigeria once said, that the youths are lazy.
I didn't say that.
Okay. Now your question, yeah.
Prof Ekuchegi
Allah Lessef.
Prof Ekuchego Ichie Kuoka Oshigota na akwa mara mo otu akwa. Mana o you enjoy the Prof, you enjoyed you do okay.
You're asking question even more than the anchor of the program.
Of Nigeria. Anchor.
He already answered it.
Any person who answers this rhetorical question
system of Nigeria
is in a state of phantasmagoria. He's in trance. The Nigerian ship of state has failed. The Nigerian ship of state has failed. Everything is heading to agranulocytosis, a supercalifragilisticexpialidocious nonsensical amelioration. They are seen in Nigeria. Everybody knows everything is going away.
Okay, hold on.
Everybody on our man, everything is going away. Can do the empowerment Nigerian government?
This question. Can do
empowerment?
What have you contributed to what's going on?
Somebody called.
What have you contributed?
Wait.
What have you contributed? See, he did not say Nigeria
is for a short break.
Okay, thank
God.
God.
We'll come back to break just after the break. Okay? On your back on the program, The Assembly, and today we are discussing youth inclusion in governance, okay? And it's been very debatable right here in the studio, saying that, okay, the youths shouldn't really all be involved because what the elderly would do, the youth may not have the experience enough to do that. And then some others are saying that the elderly, they've lost their human power, so to say, and it should be the youths who are vigorous enough to handle the helms of affairs. It is to those that the helms of affairs should be handed on to in Nigeria. So the debate continues. Youth's inclusion in governance. But the question now is, Are youths interested? That's a question, because you can't be involved if you're not interested. Yeah. So on that basis, I want to ask you, who are very passionate with youth involvement in politics. If left for you alone, you would want the youth to take over everything, and the elderly should just step down. Okay. Now, first of all, as much as I'm not particularly aware or in tandem with why you are so passionate about the youth, when you are an elderly who should be passionate about an elderly, except I'm mixing some things out there. But all the same, why aren't the youths interested? Because they can't be involved if they aren't interested. Aside the failed system, don't tell me that failed system anymore. Tell me something else.
Bring up a fact.
Answer that question. Let me use America just like my friend mentioned.
Don't say what he said though. Don't say what he said.
He mentioned the current president of America, how old he is.
Okay.
Yeah, America will a lot of youth empowerment programs.
That didn't start today.
It did not start today.
1776.
Nigeria
1960.
That is the only question I want to
1776.
use and him to answer.
1960.
How is Nigerian government empower the youth of this country?
No. Wait. Why aren't the youths interested? It's a simple question. Is it okay? Is it because until they get empowered by the Nigerian government before they get interested? Do you need empowerment to actually go and contest or vie for an election? Once you have the will to do, of course you can go and do that.
Right from beginning, Bidonishi, the elderly has been taking position in this state in terms of political power. So you to be number one is that you are talking about youth are not interested. How many of them they want the empowerment? Nobody interested now.
Wait. Explain this empowerment for me. Let me
autonomy for some things I have here.
Explain the empowerment
autonomy for me. For some things I have number one because then we go a lot of youth, even in my own constituency, that will want to contest for 1 or 2 elections. Na politics one way or the other. Or drama. That one should have been an empowerment alone. Or the go now. So I'm talking about in terms of states.
This is pure.
Federal.
Well, I'm aware that there are a good number of youths involved in politics, especially in Anambra State. At least the Speaker of the House of Assembly in Anambra State is a very young, vibrant youth.
I can mention
there are many
2
of them.
other House of Assembly members who are youths.
Yeah.
Smart is a youth.
So and they went for it. They had interest, they went for it. So I believe, I don't want to put the blames on the government entirely. I would want the blames to also be shared equally to the youth.
I blame the government because Nigerian government programs that empower the youth of this country. There were enough programs, just like other countries.
Do you know one thing?
Tell me that thing.
There is this problem.
Okay.
See, I consider myself a vast, stable genius. I cannot answer a question based on what I want. You understand? I answer a question based on what is obtainable. That is why in my studies I have created the preferable and the realizable. I keep saying this. I am not against youth empowerment. I'm not against youth taking over power. What I am saying is the pure truth. I don't believe in sentimental and jingoistic answers. I don't do that.
Meaning to join one question. Are you okay with the system?
How many times will I answer it? What a foolish question.
How many times will I answer it?
I said the question is a rhetoric foolish question.
The question. I need yes or no.
You mustn't get a yes or no.
Yes or no.
It is an answer.
First of all,
are you okay with the system of government in Nigeria in terms of youth empowerment?
As I was saying. Now, as I said, I am not.
You are not okay with the question.
First of all, the question
need a yes or no.
Is the question an open or a closed question?
Is it
open-ended or what?
British. Prof, if you okay with
not every question should have a yes or no answer. He gave an answer to it. You use your brain. He gave an answer actually.
He gave you.
He gave an answer.
You don't need a yes or no.
He mustn't give it to you.
Prof, are you okay with the system of government in Nigeria, in youth empowerment in Nigeria? Yes or no?
I don't know what's going on today.
Yes or no?
We used to have particular times to speak, but he's beginning to step into my own time to speak. And
I'm
I'm not going to condone that, seriously. Now, let me even face the people I'm talking to. Now, see, it's not about talking to somebody or listening to
just one
bunk of days. What I have to say is this. You listening to me, you looking at me now, you are aware that Nigeria is an opprobrious peregrination, a disgraceful state. Everything has failed. The only problem we have is we need to wake up. Asking me whether I am comfortable with the problem of Nigeria is like asking me whether I eat every day. What kind of a foolish question is that? It is nonsense. Well, everybody in Nigeria knows that. See, excuse me because I'm not smiling. See, everybody in Nigeria knows that the whole thing is failing. Comparing Nigeria with America is a pure nonsensical thing. But America gained her independence 1776. You are misunderstanding my philosophy. What I am saying is based on age. There is a difference between modus operandi, modus drive and die, and the way things are run. What I mean, America gained her independence 1776. Yeah. Nigeria 1960. We are not expected to achieve that kind of change. In as much as it is a clear fact, it is clear like the biblical teke fashion. It's clear that the things in Nigeria are in a failed state. What we need to do is we need a serious overhaul. Yes. The things in Nigeria are not moving at all. Yes. Everybody knows it. Asking me the question is an insult to me.
Rafumaka question. Okay. All right. Now.
One thing.
What is not a question?
Come correct your belief. Wake up.
This is the best time to go on a short break.
Wake up.
No short break now. We don't have time for that.
Nigeria should wake up. So Nigeria waking up.
They need to awaken people. Those who have been in a stupefaction should be awakened. Those who have been slumbering should be awakened. Those who have been malingering about, who have been perambulating, who have been moving about should come up so that we can take over from the petite bourgeoisie. We can take over from the imperialist economies. We can take over from those who have sidelined us. We can take over. We can take that which belongs to us. And it's the truth. I am not here for sentimental answers. Everybody knows that Nigeria is in a state. It's not a matter of asking questions. Everybody knows it.
Okay, all right. It's okay. Let's
non-playful things. We have never said anything.
Let's have some
you said wake up, and wake up people get me very happy.
There should be refreshment. There should be refreshment.
Nigeria should wake up, and I'd be okay with.
Don't you think, sir? There should be there should be refreshment. Champagne! Yes. Like cheese and pizza cheese. Come on. People eat those things like cheese.
I'm just giving you guys some time. Yeah. So now you're back to me. Now, let us talk about how these youths can actually be empowered, using his own words.
Okay.
How can these youths be made to be interested? Yeah, of course, I'm going to start with him. How can these youths be made to be interested in politics, since it looks like they ain't interested because the system isn't making them interested or isn't triggering their interest? So how can we trigger these youths' interest? Bearing in mind that one day these youths will be elderly. So are they going to wait till then before they now swing into action? I think it starts now. All these elderly politicians, the truth is that they started from their youth. Of course, the majority of them started from their youth.
Of course.
Count them. Even the current president started from when he was a military person.
Yes.
So what are you saying? It starts from now.
And he was once an administrator of a state.
Exactly. At a very young age.
Yes.
Said what? No, it starts from now. Don't wait for, you go get it. Don't wait for them to give it to you. You go get it.
In this thing,
I'm not saying I'm right and wrong. I know I'm right. Yes. I'm just saying that. Listen to me. Don't manner me. Okay. Listen. How can these youths be made interested
in
this? whole governance. Okay, because yes, it's true that his system isn't making them to be so much interested, because many persons have gone into it and they got nothing, so to say.
Yes.
I don't even know their interest for going into it. Maybe some of them go into it to get money and they don't get it. They all step back. What is like it's like a call. It's something you have to do. You have to go out for it. It doesn't wait for you out there. You have to go get it. Okay. So now, how can the government make these youths interested in going for governance, in contesting, in vying for elections, in getting themselves involved in politics?
Tell us.
Yes. Ikwulu amaka okwu ikwu ọtọ ka iwe a na-anwụ anwụ ịghọtago mana okwu ikwu ọtọ okwu n'ọtọ ka ukwu isi.
What does it mean?
that your word is like tree planted by the rivers.
Which means what you're saying is highly understandable, highly acceptable, highly
fine.
straight.
Okay, then go ahead if you understood it. Why are you stressing
it? So what I'm saying is that number one is this thing. Let governments should organize programs, political programs that will ginger the youth.
Ginger?
Yes.
Because I'm sure they had one youth summit sometime last 2 months, if I'm correct, or last month.
How did the youth summit go?
Are you asking me?
And how often?
They didn't even turn out for it.
Oh, the youth, right? They didn't even come for it.
Did you come for it, you?
Is he a youth?
You, bro. Did you attend that
Listen to me.
Summit?
I was there.
Okay.
If I didn't go, I wouldn't be here castigating and showering and
you
did not go there.
What is for youths? Are you both youths?
There is no crime.
No, wait. Answer my question. Don't worry. Answer my question.
You only know about Youth Summit, which was held.
Okay.
Held here. Truly, I was not there. But how often is some of these programs are being held?
I don't understand. Is it by holding summit before you get interested in politics?
At least number one. Let me break it down. Break earlier down.
This is it for me.
Earlier she water now. He waters here the whole thing now.
I have answers to these things.
Number one is that even at this country, Nigeria, youths of this country, let that mindset be killed.
Okay.
Number one. So now, the government of Nigeria, a general problem. Prof let it end in Nigeria. So that this thing, Prof, the elderly and the youth go where no balance very well.
Okay.
Go where enough balance.
All right, I get you right. I'm just a bit skeptical about that. Why the elderly should be, jealous? No. I mean, why would they be jealous in quotes about the youth progress? Because they can't be there forever. I'm not saying I believe it. I'm asking why.
Yes.
It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense to me.
That question alone has answered everything.
My own recipe, my own itinerary.
Just say your own already.
This is one, map out rules and regulations. Map out something. When an offense is committed, let there be a serious crime for it. When you see people being punished, for their crime, those who are committing the crime will have everything. When you engage youths, when you engage them, promise them things, and you do what you have promised them, you will see other people trying to join. Facebook did not start today. Rome was not built in a day. Yeah. Everything started in one day. When you see people coming, the Tower of Babel did not start in one day. When you see people coming together, and you see that things are being formed, you will join. Even though it collapses, you will understand that it collapsed in a just cause. You are fighting for your right to live. If you fall, you understand that you fall fighting for the noblest of all causes. When there is rule and regulation, and there is a specified repercussion for each offense, people will understand. You will see that 90% of it has gone. We have done it before.
Yes.
Look at what happened in the election. People came, rejected money, rejected bribe. That's to show that we understand what's going on.
Thank you, Prof. Thank you, Prof. And thank you, Mazi, for making this show a really should I say, very hot one, I would say. I'm feeling sweaty right now. But thank you also, and especially to the youth out there, try and go out there and be involved in politics. You don't wait for it, go for it, because it's there waiting for you. This is the program, The Assembly. I'm Lord Lessef from the highest echelon of the British Empire. Until next Friday, we all say to you, bye.
que é o nome realizou